they're off. Away, the first race on Betfred Derby Day. Kindest Nation switched inside from a wide out draw. Bermuda Longtail in the noseband going forward against the running rail. Bright Thunder and Bright Yellow, Cheek Columbine between them. And out wide Spiritual just coming through now to lead overall. Spiritual from Bermuda Longtail. Bright Thunder going up on the outside. Then Cheek Columbine, the grey Sunfall. Followed by Serona and Skellet and Royal Dress on the inside, the white with the red sash and striped cap. Imperial Quarter further back with Sparks Fly, and Kindest Nation is last of all. Running down the hill and approaching Tattenham Corner, and Spiritual leads the way in this Princess Elizabeth Stakes. From Bright Thunder in second, Bermuda Longtail is third on the inside of Cheek Columbine. Royal Dress towards the inside next ahead of Skellet, and then on the outside Sunfall as they swing this left-hander, followed by Serona and Sparks Fly, and then Imperial Quarter and Kindest Nation. Spiritual travels smoothly in the lead here, length and a half to Bright Thunder in second. Spiritual from Bright Thunder, Cheek Columbine in third, then Bermuda Longtail. Skellet behind these, Royal Dress down the outside, Sunfall, but Spiritual still the one to catch in hand at the moment as they race down inside the final quarter mile. Spiritual is 2 lengths clear of Bright Thunder in second. Rab Havlin now goes for the leader. Spiritual goes 3 lengths clear of Bright Thunder. Going to take some pegging back. Spiritual drawing away from Bright Thunder. Sparks Fly for late headway, but racing up towards the line. Spiritual draws 5 lengths clear now of Bright Thunder and runs out a very impressive winner of the Princess Elizabeth Stakes. In second, Bright Thunder, Sparks Fly was third, and Royal Dress for fourth.
No one seemed to want the lead. Well, they offer you the lead here around this track, and you can drop to the rail on the fresh ground just opened for the Derby today, and they let you have 3-4 lengths. It's often hard to get them back, and she relaxed so well, I think she was looking at the funfair, that when he asked her, she went again.
And they're off. Racing in this Group 3 Betfred Diomed Stakes. Royal Playwright away fairly well on the outside. Tyrrhenian Sea and Brave Emperor wants to go forward as well as they race through the first furlong. Ice Max then on the inside, the yellow and black spots of Docklands in white sleeves. Out wide is Geography, and then Royal Dubai, and the favourite Persica is the early back marker covering the first furlong and a half or so. Tyrrhenian Sea up on the outside of Royal Playwright as they swing left-handed. Ice Max is back on the inside in third, then Brave Emperor, light blue jacket. Royal Dubai round the inside under Ross Orion. In the red sleeves is the German challenger Geography, followed by Docklands and then Persica, and pretty well grouped together. Looks a fairly modest pace just heading down the hill. Royal Playwright from Tyrrhenian Sea, Ice Max in third, Brave Emperor as they run into Tattenham Corner. Royal Dubai round the inside, Docklands, and then Geography and Persica will have to pass them all to win, but is only about 6 lengths off the pace. Up the home straight, and it's still Royal Playwright that leads the way by 3/4 of a length to Tyrrhenian Sea. The grey Ice Max just in behind them. Got plenty of racing room now. Brave Emperor, Royal Dubai is chasing hard on the far side. Out wide Geography. Here comes Persica. Docklands having to wait for a run there. Tyrrhenian Sea has fallen away. Ice Max wearing down Royal Playwright, but here comes the favourite Persica being delivered by Ryan Moore down the outside. Ice Max from Persica. Ice Max, Persica, and behind these Docklands now in full flow, having been caught behind runners. Persica getting to Ice Max, then Docklands racing for the line. Persica out in front and wins again at Epsom. From his second, Ice Max, Docklands third, and Royal Playwright in fourth.
At this level, you know, he's capable of winning right through the year. The ground is what makes a difference to him.
Ruby's Profit from stall 18 here, right on the stand side. They're off and racing for this Betfred 3-year-old dash. Ruby's Profit predictably quickly into stride, chased by Gold Star Hero and Convo and Nana's Sparkle going forward. Eloise's Prince in the firing line. Out in the centre of the course, Acrisius with also Lexington Blitz and Glorious Kitty. The leaders are chased by Al Huzzar. And then behind these is Raja Terrier. Blinky is a little way back at the moment. Sandscreen Delivered is totally detached. Stormy Impact's got lots to do as they come through now to the final quarter mile. Ruby's Prophet joined by Nana's Sparkle against the wind in the noseband. Chrysius, Alhazar, and then on the far side Lexington Blitz in the light blue cap as they race towards the final furlong. Ruby's Prophet near side hanging on grimly. Out in the centre, Lexington Blitz from Chrysius, Nana's Sparkle. Blinky finishes well as well, racing up towards the line. Ruby's Prophet, Lexington Blitz, and coming from the back is Stormy Impact from the back of the field to win it. From Lexington Blitz, tight for the Miners, Glorious Kitty, and also involved Blinky probably on the near side.
You know, you judge a race on your own horse. She's not slow, and she was flat out. Yeah. So I thought they were going to stop, but I didn't think they'd stop that quick. But she did finish well. You know.
I've just going down the middle, and she just flew home. And as I've came to the leaders, I thought we could have this in the bag, and she did. It was brilliant.
And they're off racing in the Aston Martin Dash Handicap. Fast away towards the stand side on that far side of the pictures is Spartan Aaron, the Bell Conductor. Democracy Dilemma blazing a trail down the centre with for company their One Night Stand as they run towards the halfway stage. Clarendon House did not go with them, refused to race. Fairwind is badly outpaced. Last year's winner Dream Composer's got a lot to do. Vintage Claret's coming through in the maroon and light blue. On the right, Michaela's Boy, JM Jungle. Democracy Dilemma in the pink and green, still in the firing line. Followed by the Bell Conductor and Spartan Arrow up the near side, chased by T-Spirit, Jerbat, then One Night Stand, Rhythm and Who's ran out of racing room, JM Jungle and Vintage Clarets on the near side, Spartan Arrow, and then Democracy Dilemma. Existent runs on well, but it's JM Jungle out in the centre, JM Jungle and Spartan Arrow, and it's JM Jungle for the dash. Spartan Arrow second, Existent third, Marching Mac running on well into fourth.
Today he got a lead and there was a couple going quicker than him, and he finished out well, so I'm really, really pleased.
All set. And they're away for the Betfred Derby of 2025. Lambourn is pushed along, wants to go forward. Tornado Alert is prominent. On the outside, Damasus with the big white blaze, and Sea Scout is handy as well. Near side, then Lazy Griff is going forward. Tornado Alert not far away in the blue with the white cap as they round the little right-hander. And it's Lambourn that takes them along from Lazy Griff in second. Midak is close up in third. Sea Scout is on the outside, climbing the hill. Right there to the line in winter out wide of Pride of Arras, who's in the leading 7 or 8. A little bit rough in places here. Green Storm round the inside. Our Wassel Storm. They're followed then by New Ground towards the outside, just behind Pride of Arras and the Lion in Winter. Back in the field, Stanhope Gardens is on the inside from Tennessee Stud. Out the back, Night Walker and Nighttime Dancer as they continue to climb. Rogue Impact towards the rear, and Delacroix is probably fourth last at the moment in the purple and white jacket worn by Ryan Moore. It's Lambourn, though, Delacroix's stable companion, that leads the way and has 2 lengths at least over Sea Scout in second. Lazy Griff is third and Midak is in fourth place. Then a couple of lengths again to Damasus, and on the inside is Tuscan Hills. They're followed by Green Storm and Tornado Alert and Pride of Arras towards the outside. Behind these are Wassel Storm and Stanhope Gardens of the Lion in Winter and Rogue Impact, and then Tennessee Stud further back in the field as they make their way down the hill. And out towards the rear of the field is New Ground, Delacroix with a lot to do at this stage. Night Walker right out the back with also Nighttime Dancer. Lambourn on the run down to Tattenham Corner. It's Lambourn that leads the way here in the hands of Wayne Lorden. 2 lengths to Sea Scout, the trial winner. They're 4 lengths clear now of Midak. And then on the inside, Lazy Griff, followed by Tuscan Hills and Damasus. And behind those, Green Storm. Lambourn trying to run the sting out of them, trying to run the legs out of his rivals here. Leads by 3 lengths. Lambourn entering the final 3 furlongs. Sea Scout, Lazy Griff. Midak back in fourth place, followed by Green Storm. Stanhope Gardens begins to to run on well. Tornado Alert down the outside, and then behind these Tennessee Star, but Lambourn has led all the way, and he's still 3 or 4 lengths clear, and he's racing home relentlessly in the Betfred Derby. Lambourn by 4 or 5 lengths out in front from Lazy Griff. Stanhope Gardens, New Ground stays on, but Lambourn is relentless and is unchallenged and strides away. Another Derby for Aidan O'Brien. Lambourn wins, Lazy Griff in second, Tennessee Stud for third, New Ground down the outside of Stanhope Gardens, and then came behind those Nighttime Dancer, Tornado Alert and Green Storm.
When the last piece of work he rode him, he was over the moon with him. He said to me going out of the parade ring, he said, this fella's on fire today, you know, so, and he obviously sensed that.
And they're off. The Encore Lifestyle Northern Dancer handicap, very slow to stride, was Bold as Brass, who gave trouble going to the start. Vice President is slightly detached as well. Valvano is sent on here by Hector Crouch, leads early as they climb the hill and head round a little right-hand turn. Candyman Stan is second with 410 Fever close up and also Something. Then Small Fry towards the inside. Torcello's not far away with Night Breeze. And then back in the field to Maxi King from Great Bedouin, Miller's Spirit and Dream Harder. And then Vice President and Asgard's Captain at the back of the main body of the field. And about 10 lengths, maybe 8 lengths, then back to Bold as Brass, who was so slowly away. So Valvano leading the way by a couple of lengths or so to 410 Fever towards the inside of Candyman Stan with Something out wide. Small Fry is back on the inside, the favourite, followed closely by Night Breeze in the light blue and red jacket. Then towards the inside is Great Bedouin in the quartered cap. On the outside is Maxi King as they reach just about the highest point on the racecourse. And back in the field behind Maxi King, then Dream Harder on the outside, Torcello being bumped along. Behind those is Miller's Spirit, and then Asgard's Captain in black and yellow colours, and Vice President. Bold as Brass has actually caught up, but probably at great expense. Valvano continues to lead the way. In the cheap pieces for the first time, Hector Crouch, who had that good ride on Stanhope Gardens in the Derby. It is Valvano that leads to Something in second. 410 Fever third on the inside, followed by Small Fry in amongst them with out wide Night Breeze, and then down the outside is Maxi King from Great Bedouin and Dream Harder behind these as they straighten up now for the judge. Back on the inside to Miller's Spirit, and then Asgard's Captain towards the inside as well. 410 Fever is beating a hasty retreat. Vice President is making a forward move down the outside. And up ahead, Maxi King and Night Breeze taking over from Small Fry. And then Dream Harder back in fourth and Miller's Spirit as they race on now towards the closing stage. And Small Fry down the outside. This improving middle distance star, Ashley Lewis, delivering a pretty serious run here. Maxi King on the far side under David Egan. Between them is Dream Harder as they race inside the final furlong. Small Fry near side. Far side Maxi King. Dream Harder coming between the pair, but Small Fry is looking too strong, and Small Fry goes on to win again on the up. Small Fry from Dream Harder second, then in third Maxi King, and late headway for Asgard's Captain into fourth.
He's been a real bonny little horse since we bought him. Leighton Aspel told me to buy him just over a year ago now, and we thought he might be okay as a juvenile hurdler, but he didn't take to hurdling, but he's been brilliant on the flat for us.
For this, the Hong Kong Jockey Club Whirlpool Leicester Piggott handicap over 1.25 miles, and away they go, and they all came out pretty well. Warhawk just a little slow into stride. Hornsey Bay goes forward with the Trickster Meblesh on the outside, followed by Patrol in fourth in the noseband. Cayman Dancer on the inside then of Chartwell Jock, and then Grecian Legacy is restrained towards the inner of Love Talk, and Warhawk up the inside of Grecian Legacy, running through the first furlong and a half or so. And Hornsey Bay, we're just going to lose them for just a brief few seconds here. A little bit of a problem with the camera on the far side, the weather getting into the works a little bit. Hornsey Bay is the leader, from Meblesh in second place, Chartwell Jock and Cayman Dancer. The Trickster is back in fifth, as they make the run now left-handed and begin the descent towards Tattenham Corner. After the Trickster, then Warhawk on the inside, and then Patrol, and finally Grecian Legacy. So Hornsey Bay leads the way down the hill. Hornsey Bay by 3/4 of a length to Meblesh in the green sleeves. On the outside in the noseband, Chartwell Jock. They're followed by Cayman Dancer and the Trickster Love Talk, making a little bit of ground out wide in the black starred sleeves. And they are trapped by Warhawk, and then by Patrol, and by Grecian Legacy. Turning round Tattenham Corner then, with about 3.5 furlongs to gallop, and it's Hornsey Bay narrowly to Meblesh in second place. Out wide Chartwell Jock, and then on the inside is Cayman Dancer. The Trickster making a bit of progress onto the heels of the leaders from Love Talk. Patrol trying to come through. They're edging across now to the outside rail. It's quite common here for the jockeys to seek the better ground on the outside, and it's still just Hornsey Bay. Hornsey Bay tackled by the Trickster. Meblesh in the green sleeves, behind them Warhawk. Grecian Legacy from the back of the field now improving his position as they race on down inside the final furlong. Hornsey Bay is being challenged all the while by the Trickster. Grecian Legacy on the far side, then Warhawk, Meblesh and Chartwell Jock. They race up towards the line. Grecian Legacy and Warhawk, these two going on together now. Grecian Legacy, Warhawk, they race up towards the line, and Warhawk is just getting up from Grecian Legacy. The Trickster back in third, followed by Hornsey Bay and Chartwell Jock. And they're off, racing. And where's the pace coming from? Twilight Jet well away, Eye of Dubai, intervention towards the inside, Orn out wide in grey with the yellow striped sleeves as they hurtle down the hill. Eye of Dubai racing quite freely, disputing the lead with Twilight Jet and Orn. Then Cersei behind them, interventions on the inside. On the outside is Sondad, followed then by Strike Red and Purest Time, and then Rousing Encore, and back on the inside Solar Acclaim, and finally Badry. Bound to track across here, and Orn looks like getting the stand side rail just ahead of Twilight Jet. And then Eye of Dubai, an intervention on the right, Solar Acclaim. Behind these is Purest Time, Strike Red coming with a run now in a noseband. They're well grouped together. Behind Cersei, Sondad, and then Eye of Dubai's lost places. Rousing Encore trying to run on as well. Open looking race. Solar Acclaim with Cersei coming through the pink and dark blue. Then Strike Red. Badry on the far side, the past winner with a promising run. Near side Twilight Jet, but it's Sondad comes through in the stripes from Badry. And then Twilight Jet and Rousing Encore, and Sondad goes on to win. Tight second between Twilight Jet and Badry, with Rousing Encore in fourth.
We will do our best just to tie up our thoughts on what's been an unusual Derby day. I can't remember a Derby day that's been as soggy as this. Certainly not for the final few races, nor one where we had 19 runners. But for all that some things changed, an awful lot stayed the same. And merciless Aidan O'Brien has completed the clean sweep of Group 1s here on Epsom Downs for the first time since he did it in 2012 with Camelot Was and St Nicholas Abbey. This year's heroes, Jan Bruegel, time figure came out very, very well in his defeat of Calandigan. Mini Hawk beating Whirl, and of course today the Derby success, his 11th Derby success of Lambourn, who just ground his rivals into submission. But that perhaps, Jane Mangan, might yet damn him with faint praise, because he relaxed so well, he conserved his energy, and surely the Irish Derby and the Betfred St Ledger are his for the taking.
Well, he's the one they all have to beat now. You know, when a horse makes all at Epsom, people think, oh, maybe he slipped the field, maybe he wasn't respected by his rivals. I don't think either of those sentiments apply. He was very strongly supported in the market pre-race, and Christophe Soumillon on Lazy Griff kept tabs on him the whole way, and he eventually finished second. My instinct after the race was that a lot of the main protagonists either didn't settle or didn't stay, or a combination of both, whereas in contrast, this horse had a great mental constitution as well as the stamina and ability to last home. Everybody who talks about the Epsom Derby in terms of its legacy and its test always gives the sentiment that it's the perfect test of everything a horse has to give, and that entitles him to be taken very seriously when it goes into the Irish Classic and indeed the oldest classic.
The point that Jane made, Chris, after the race was that there are so few horses who are really, truly bred to stay the Derby distance. And that has been borne out by the fact you've got the son of a Derby winner winning the race, and there were only 2 Derby winners represented in it, and the son of a Melbourne Cup winner coming through for second, the German-bred Lazy Griff. What a result for Charlie Johnston and Midland Park Racing.
Excellent run from that horse, and the Chester form holding up very well. But that's the pertinent point, really, isn't it? It's becoming less and less the norm to have stamina within these horses, and why do Coolmore and Aidan O'Brien dominate the Derby in the way that they do? I think a lot of it is the bloodlines and the stamina that they have within them. They have strong staying stallions that they call upon. Galileo is a big part of it.
Well, here's a case in point. Quite often over recent years you've heard, well, the Prix de Jockey Club's a better stallion making race. Look at the likes of New Bay and Lope de Vega. But you bring your New Bays and Lope de Vega here and they fall out the back of the TV.
It's just about what it tests, isn't it? And the Derby tests stamina. And it's a little bit of a shame that so many races are about speed and precocity now. And you know, the Derby wouldn't be the same race in Britain over 10 furlongs, would it? It would become a very different race.
Yeah, a very different race, exactly. I would imagine you could slice it whichever way you wish, and Aidan O'Brien would still dominate it, because he is getting horses conditioned at the right point in the year to enable them to come here and run a huge race. It wasn't all plain sailing for him today. Both Delacroix and the Lion and Winter were really ranked disappointing.
Massively disappointing. Delacroix never looked likely. He dropped in nearly second or third last, and he never carried Ryan Moore. You couldn't say he didn't handle the track, because at no stage of the race did he ever look like he was going to make an impact. The Lion in Winter, I didn't think he'd any obvious excuse from an outside draw. Colin Keane managed to get cover behind Pride of Arse, who didn't settle. But the Lion in Winter didn't get home at all. For a horse that's by See the Stars, he didn't see out the distance at all. You'd have to say Midak ran a credible race. The Dante form didn't stand up. Chester will be bloody delighted. They're first and second. They're first winner since
the Cheshire Oaks yesterday.
And first winner since Ruler of the World, of course, won that trial and came here. So huge for them. But you run the risk of making it predictable when Aidan O'Brien wins 11 Epsom Derbies, but they do it because, number one, obviously they're fantastic, but two, they breed for the race. And do we want an industry that breeds for the Commonwealth and still can't compete with the Aussie sprinters, or do what we're best known for and have a race that is 200 plus years old, that is revered around the world, and if anything like from the first 3 home came up for auction, they'd be snapped up by Japan straight away, and then we wonder on a global scale why they kick our behinds every time we meet them in a Group 1.
And talking of the third place horse home, that was Tennessee Stud, trained by Joseph O'Brien, has had this race marked out since landing a staying prize at St. Cloud last back end. There were other horses who emerged with credit. I thought Stanhope Gardens offered hope for the rest of the season, perhaps at 10 furlongs. Yeah,
very much so. I thought it was a very good run for a horse who was right back up in grade this afternoon. So the toughest test he'd had. The French horse who ran an amazing race, given how keen he was.
horse, the Judman horse, yeah.
Yeah, his name's completely got it.
New ground.
He actually ran an exceptional race.
He did, because he was keen.
Had a shocking trip.
Exactly. A lot went wrong, and yet he finished off well.
He didn't even go to the start well.
He's a serious horse, I'd say.
He is. Well, it's been a different Derby day, an absorbing Derby day. I know it's soggy now, but to be honest, we got away with it. It was dry until really just after the big race itself. One of the big stories of the day was that Ruling Court came out. Nobody seemed that surprised, even early this morning, that there were doubts about his participation. He'll go to the St James's Palace Stakes now for the rematch with Field of Gold. Let's hope they try stepping him up in trip at some point during the season. He robbed the race of significant interest and the main domestic challenge. It seems ironic that a horse called Lambourn should win this race. It seems the only way that a horse called Lambourn could win the race, that Newmarket could win the race, that Middleham could win the race, or Moulton could win the race, is if they were trained by Aidan O'Brien. Let's go to join Tom and Ruby. From us, it's good night.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, we're a bit closer together than we were when we were waiting for Lydia. She might yet join us. We'll make space if she does. But yeah, Aidan O'Brien, Ruby, once again made Epsom look oh so easy, didn't he?
I wonder, has Sue Magda got all those names reserved? Newmarket, Middleham, where else that Nick mentioned. But look, Lambourn, I thought he was a brilliant winner. I thought he went pillar to post. I thought Wayne Lorden was brave on him. He sent him off the hill. It was catch me if you can. and he didn't fold, and he went all the way to the line, Tom.
Yeah, and his profile coming into the race was not one of brilliance yet. It was one of sort of steadfastness. It was one of consistency. He was the solid horse. There was brilliance today, though, wasn't there?
There was brilliance today, and we watched him in the paddock beforehand, where he was quite coltish. He looked very lean. He looked very fit, but like he delivered.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought you're watching it live when he sent them down off the hill. You're thinking, yeah, he'll fold past the 2. What's coming from behind? But when he went by the 3 and got halfway to the 2, you were thinking, he ain't stopping.
From Wayne's point of view as well, that's massive, and he went very close yesterday. In fact, he's given his 2 outsiders, Peaches, and Aidan O'Brien in the press conference. Not sure, I haven't heard the interview with Lydia, whether he said this or not. In the press conference, he said afterwards, we knew what Ryan was riding, and Wayne wanted these 2, and he nearly got the oak spot on. He got this one bang on.
Yeah, he did. Obviously, Worrell wasn't unlucky, but she was good, and Lydia's coming in to join us.
I'm so pleased you're coming in. Good job you're not wet.
Do I have my shoes?
Yeah, they're lovely. They are practical.
Did you not know?
No, I haven't noticed, no.
What was your overriding view of Lambourn? He was suggesting today that he was a solid one coming into it, and after today he emerges with brilliance as opposed to just that consistent solid horse.
Yeah, he's obviously straightforward enough. I think he's still learning. He's got a bit of laziness to him as well, so I suspect there's plenty still under the bonnet. I suspect there might have been a lot of non-stayers potentially in that race, and lots of horses can get into it. It's pretty rough early on. There will be some horses, I mean, bear in mind I've only seen this once, so I'm going off the live feel, but I'm still impressed with him. I mean, I can see him being a really good contender for St Ledger, and that's the kind of horse that he strikes me as. But it is a reminder that you have to be straightforward, handle the track, be agile, and stay really well to win the Derby. Aidan O'Brien said afterwards, it is the ultimate test, or the classics are the ultimate test, and that's exactly what it is.
But it goes for the Oaks and the Coronation Cup as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought what really came across in what he said to you afterwards was just how much they put into it. This has always been the place for them.
Yeah.
And once again, it was today. Well, I really enjoyed it, but it's been a bit of a wet finish, hasn't it? But a fab couple of days.
Yeah, they've done well to get the Derby and all the ceremonies afterwards out of the way before this came.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lucky.
Ruby, been a pleasure with you. I hope you can say exactly that.
It's reminiscent of Plumpton on a Monday now, isn't it?
No, it is. It's got a bit quiet. Lydia, thank you very much. Thanks to all the team behind the scenes as well. I hope you enjoyed all the coverage from Epsom. Yeah, it was another one for Aidan O'Brien.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.